Welcome, traveler. You have entered the realm of adventure. Prepare yourself for tales from beyond the dice.
Welcome back. We play role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition and more. I'm Luke, your DM, and with me is...
Ben. I play Cortaine, who's about to smite some fancy-hatted gentleman.
Peter plays Spigs the Dancer, and let's see what happens to him this time.
Hey everyone, Trav, Little Moss. I forget what level I am, but it's not relevant because I kick butt.
And I'm Levi, I'm playing Lokag, and I'm also looking forward to kicking butt and having some good old mischief.
Alright, so, everyone roll a d20 for me. The lowest. We'll recount the tale.
18.
Previously.
Spigs 2.
12 for Lokag.
Moss 10.
Cortaine 7.
Alright, Cortaine, what happened previously?
So, previously, we got into a lab. Excuse me, I've misplaced both my dice and my journal. So, there was a lab that we got into.
This should be detailed.
And there was choking gas. I remember the last part, clearly. There was choking gas that we were clearly being egged on by the DM to actually check a door rather than kind of just standing there. And eventually we found a security door. That's after we lost Wolfie, because Wolfie couldn't fit from memory.
Yep.
Is that correct? Yes.
Correct.
And then there was a barrier, there was a shield, and we're basically like a hostage situation where there was a guy behind, there was the Dr. Lazarus behind the barrier who was like, you don't do anything, otherwise I'll get you. And then we were like, I'm probably going to kill you anyway. And then some people appeared, one of which was the previously mentioned fancy man in a hat, whose name escapes me.
It's in Roll20. His name is
Roll20.
Turbo.
That's it, Turbo. Yeah, so he was the... Did he have a mustache? I always imagined him with a mustache.
He does now.
I always imagined him as... I just imagined him as the main character from No Country for Old Men.
What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
No, not the villain, but the main character with the mustache, and I just picture him with a hat. And he was like, "You got it now, Cortaine," and I just laughed at him because he died before, and we stole his car that had a shotgun in the wheel. And that is all I can remember. Apologies to our listeners. I've just recently moved, and I can't find my dice or my journal.
So
how did you roll the 7?
Almost.
I used a dice roller Google search dice roller, and it immediately comes up with something.
All right, I'm calling the D&D police and or Matt Mercer to come and arrest you for that. That's illegal. No, I'm kidding.
Using a dice roller. It's not one that I coded up. That's like always rolls a 20.
I got another 20.
Clearly, they're not your lucky dice.
No.
But okay. So that was essentially correct. The
vision.
That's the best kind of
insulting.
correct.
You get a pass.
Dr. Lazarus was a projection, like a holographic projection, standing this laser grid made of orange beams. Turbo burst from the sort of hyperbaric chamber, sort of tank vat type of thing, where you also saw the floating bodies of a dwarven woman and a dwarven child that you guessed to be Gregor. There was a woman in the back, and she had a big old gun that she pulled off the wall and stepped forward and pointed it at you.
How rude.
And Lazarus said some things to you, basically asking you where Gregor was, and then you pointed to him in the chair, and Lazarus did say that he would kill you if Gregor is dead and use your corpses to hunt down those who sent you here, in where you all ripped weapons from scabbards and holsters and such. And I'll get you all to roll initiative for me.
Does that mean that he intends to use our skin as disguises to then trick the people who sent us here into revealing themselves?
Well, when he kills you, you will find out.
That's not going to happen.
Okay.
Lokag got a 10 for initiative.
Cortaine got an 11. Actually, why am I using my computer? I haven't.
Moss 17.
And Spigston,
Let's go with 16.
16. And Hayashida,
Oh, we got a 4.
9. Okay.
Is that how you think Hayashida sounds?
We know how Hayashida sounds. He's been talking the whole time.
He's just trying to cover up his awesomeness. That's why he sounded so weird.
Paint me a word picture, DM.
The word picture is
Okay.
about to die.
So, as the vision of Dr. Ecton Lazarus disappears, the holographic display or projection with this faint blue lines running through it and flickering dissipates out from the hall in the north that runs out of this room, this homely room of grand floorboarded designs, this kitchen, this couch and the lounge area where you are with a fake fireplace against the east wall. You see this creature running down the hallway. And it is, well, it looks like it was probably human at one point. Very large, muscular human. Maybe some sort of wrestler, bodybuilder, or somebody who just enjoys going to the gym quite often. Its skin is this pallid white, and as it screams, you see all of these tubes that are running sort of like veins in and out of its body. Pulse just like grow thicker, and then parts of its body where the tubes growing in just go like this deep red, and steam starts to just visibly emanate from the creature as it screams. Turbo points to you and says, "It's time for you to die." And we will begin this battle. So, it is Turbo's turn first. He rolled a little higher than you. As he fixes his white cowboy hat, he adjusts it, and you can see in this amber, warm lighting of this room, these chandeliers hanging from the roof, you see that he no longer has pretty blue eyes. They have been replaced by almost a boomerang shaped piece of glass that has been set into the top part of his head. It is black, and when he gets into a battle stance, he sort of spreads his legs wider, a wide stance, and he places his hand behind his back, and out of his back shoots this pole, this steel pole, and when it connects with his hand, which is all robotic, this gold, bronze, and sort of shiny steel chrome arm, when it connects with it, this large greatsword sort of materializes or builds almost like nanite bots, if you could think of that. Just all these little pieces just go out of the pole that he's holding on, and the boomerang shaped eyeglass glows this bright red. From where he is, he swings the sword back behind him in like an anime style stance, places his hand on the ground, and the red eye slot of his new partially reconstructed face fires. And this beam comes out. It's a red beam, in the center of which is this sort of white energy. So it's both red on the outsides and in the center, this white that flies towards you. And it will strike Cortaine. You are the one who severed the front of his hover bike, his arm and his leg, and sent him off the edge of the highway on the chase to Ultra Die Tower. Is that correct?
That is correct.
He's going to aim at you with this beam that fires from his eyes across the room.
Karma.
See if it hits. Maybe 21 versus AC.
That misses.
All right. So in seeing you dodge, and this beam slams against the wall, burning through the wood framing on this wall, you see concrete behind these sort of wood cladding wall boards. And he gets quite mad that he missed, and he will fire again. Oof, that is not much better. Yeah, that's an 18 versus AC. That is going to hit. That's going to miss, I guess. So once again, he fires. You put your blade up and sort of redirect the beam, firing from his head, and it cuts into the floor. Next will be Little Moss.
All right. So is Turbo... Is he the big bad evil guy, or...
The bad evil guy?
Big bad evil guy.
This guy. So if you don't remember who Turbo was, because it's been quite a while since we saw him last, he was an operative for the Edict of Ire. He was the one who basically brought the Mecha Bugbear around to Terry's Diner before it destroyed the place. You also met him once again in the underground fighting, I guess, event where you guys stole the hover cars. And he had that big old truck that you were going to take, but you didn't because you didn't want to fuck around with the Edict much longer. And then you saw him again as he chased you towards Ultra Die Tower when you were chasing Banshee. And Cortaine disposed of him. But he basically he always wore like a white jacket, very light pants or jeans, and a white cowboy hat. And this time he is wearing basically a white bodysuit with a big popped collar. And he's got his white cowboy hat still. But a lot of his body, his arm and his leg, you can see are completely replaced with cybernetics, and part of his face, his eyes.
There's two things I hate: douchebags and sequels. And then I run at him and try and punch him right in his Cyclops face.
All right. So let's see how far. 40 feet. Can you make it there?
I have a speed of 35.
So you can make it to... Yep, you can meet him right there.
Yes. Right in the face hole.
So you just dash like black lightning because you're wearing your black turtleneck, correct?
Yeah, he won't see it coming.
Boom.
And that's 23 to hit.
23 to hit. That'll hit.
It's like, I'd be really upset if it didn't. And then I'm going to expend a Kai point to do a flurry of blows. So it's going to be 4 unarmed strikes.
All right.
It's pretty bad. So that's 20. That's 20 for my rolls. Plus 6 for each is 20 24. So 44 damage.
Oh, nice.
No, that is pretty good, actually.
That is pretty awesome. And
Right in his Cyclops eye. Bang, 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 bang.
you send a flurry of blows, strikes, elbows, kicks. Any headbutts in there?
The last one.
The last one's a headbutt. As like you headbutt him, his hat shifts back a bit. You see his whole forehead area has been completely reconstructed with cybernetics, and a little beam shoots off in the air. As you headbutt him, he stumbles backwards. And that is the end of your turn. Next, we have... Actually, is that the end of your turn? Or can you do some more?
Nah. That's
All
it.
right. Spigston Denser.
Yeah. What's the... Is it a... What action is it to inhale a stim?
To use a stim... I think it's... No, it should just be a bonus action for a stim.
Alright, well, I'm going to... Spigs will puff one up. He's got some asthma that needs healing, so he inhales a stim. So that's like 2d6?
Yep.
That's like 4 or something? 6...
You're using a medium one or a small one?
What did you say? You just said inhaler stim. That's what I wrote down from last time. We got some. It's the ones we got recently in the Suez Canal.
Mediums. Yep, cool. You got mediums. 2d6 plus 2. Single target.
Cool. And then Spigs will activate boost some power into one of his gadgets and launch his little drones that go across his body, little pyramid-like structures, and they will emit some beams to create a shield around him to give him some bonus AC.
Shield of faith and faith in the machine.
You know what?
Awesome. And is that the end of your turn, sir?
Move up slightly. Shift towards the fondness turbo. That's all.
All right. That is it. Okay. So, next is the creature. Where are we? I think it's a creature. Edwina, not a creature. So, the woman standing there, she has tan skin with red hair, 2 black squares tattooed under her eyes, a red cybernetic arm, and the other arm is covered in geometric tattoo shapes. A bright yellow armor-plated jacket with the sleeves rolled up, and a tight, dark purple ballistic wave suit. She will, with this large weapon she pulled off the wall, she basically grabs the side of it, pulls it back like this large lever that is running horizontally. She grabs it back, clicks it into place, and you guys hear this huge charging sound. She will point it at Little Moss, for you have attacked Turbo, and she will fire it. That will be 29 versus AC.
Oh, it just hits.
Okay.
For someone that doesn't wear armor.
That is 20 force damage. And you must make a Constitution saving throw as this bright pink energy blasts from this huge cannon-like thing she's got. And you see that these are these large, sort of like canister things plugged into the top of it, just like emit this bright pink glow that highlights that side of the room as she fires.
On a Constitution saving throw, that is 11.
11. Cool. So, the beam that she fires hits you and passes through you. You take an additional 5 radiant damage, and you feel a burning sensation on your chest and back.
I know this isn't relevant, but I'm bloodied.
Okay.
You can add some theme to that.
Next, she will call out, "Place down your weapons!" And she will hold an action. She basically pumps the loading arm on the side, that horizontal bar running down this cannon. She pushes, as it fires, it slams forward. She pulls it back again, and you see those canisters on top just glow this bright pink. That'll be the end of her turn for now. Cortaine.
Okay. Cortaine will not put down his weapon. He will move over. He can move over to Turbo and says, "Turbo, first time I put you down, it was just business. This time, it's still just business." And then I will swing a sword at him.
All right. As you're moving across the room saying that, lifting your sword in the air, Edwina will fire at you.
Didn't see that coming.
That's 28 versus
That
AC.
does hit.
20 force damage as this pink beam slams into your armored suit. Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
That's the kind of save that I can make.
Yeah, no dexterity this time. Hey.
Exactly. Constitution. That is an 22.
Nice. So as this beam hits you, you feel it press against your skin, and you are able to withstand this burning sensation, and the beam does not pass through you. It sort of like hits your skin and burns you, does the damage, but doesn't pass through you like a pass-through little moss.
Nice. How much damage was it?
That will be 20 force damage.
Yes, you said that. Okay, cool.
It does not stop your movement, and you can continue an attack.
Nice. I will attack with my bastard sword. First attack is a 19 versus AC.
19 versus AC will miss.
Fortunate. I will attack again.
Yep.
It's even worse. It's an 18. Dang it.
So as you come up, you see his eyeglass. It once again has turned black. You see in the reflection of that yourself coming up to it. But in that small amount of time, this, it's all slowed for you because your adrenaline is pumping. You see through your helmet in the reflection of his visor-like eyes, it outlines you in this red sort of, this red outline. And there are all of these little text boxes and all of these sort of like projections of what you might do as he comes towards you and slashes, or as you come towards him and slash, he's able to sort of predict your strikes and dodge quickly out of the way twice.
His
Okay.
name is Tarson.
Cortaine does
He
not
then-
understand.
Sorry, just because you missed him with an attack?
Yep. So I missed him twice.
Twice, yep. He will seemingly fade. This red light emanates from his face and covers him.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see he pops over here
What?
in like a dash of red light.
What
I
a
don't-
coward.
how many squares was that? Nope. There, I believe that should be right there. Yep. So 20 feet away, there's this red blur. And he's there.
Dang it. I'll get you, Turbo. Cortaine will not use his... I can't move any further, so there's no point using my action surge. Cortaine will just end his turn in a bit of shame. Missing twice.
Alright. Next.
Should have worn a black turtleneck.
Next will be Lokag.
I'm not fully aware of the whole situation. Like, there's a laser wall, people are yelling at us. I'm trying to protect my friend. Not the deck chair.
Like
the armchair
like Gregor?
Yeah, the
You're
armchair
trying
that
to-
Gregor is in, does it look sturdy?
Yeah. It looks really comfortable. Like it's this plush, sort of dark brown leather sort of armchair.
It
like
doesn't
this
look
really
like it could take
cushy.
a bullet, though, could it?
Maybe the back of it, maybe. But one of those laser shots or
No.
a swing from Cortaine's sword? No.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and move away from Gregor so that no collateral damage gets to him. And I think I am going to go towards Mr. Cowboy Hat, Turbo,
All right.
and just go
Turbo on him.
walk up. And because I don't know mechanics, I'm not going to try and push him into the laser wall. I'm just going to attack him.
So as you move up to him and you're moving across the room,
Yep.
he does this red blur ability where he sort of dashes incredibly quickly out of the way. You're all there walking and he just appears right next to you and you see him look up at you and you hear him say, "Fuck."
And I swing my hammer down with a 24 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that's going to hit.
So 9 plus... No, actually, so 6 poison damage and 14 bludgeoning damage.
So 6 poison
Yep,
and 14 bludgeoning.
yep. And I swing again.
Yep.
Ooh, it's heaps worse. 17 to hit.
That misses.
And I just steady myself.
So you see as you swing down and you hit him, you slam his robotic arm and it like twists, looks like it's broken, it just flicks back into place, and you swing down again and he dodges out of the way. Incredibly quick movement speed. And is that all for your turn, sir?
Yep, that is. I popped
right.
my rage at the start of it using my bonus action.
Yep. Your bonus action, yes. And you pop a raging bone.
No. Keep it civil. I can go to the bathroom later, but...
All right, Hayashida's turn. He will... let's see. He will... Holding his katana ready in his... what do you call it? Wait. Is it his turn? Yes, it is. Cool. Holding his katana in his scabbard at his side, he will run up between Turbo and Spigs, and he will strike out with his katana from its place in its scabbard. He does a quick slash out, holding it. You just see this quick, bright, white flash of steel, and slashes at Turbo, hits him. Will slash again. Second attack misses. So as he goes to slash down at Turbo again, Turbo anticipates his move and sort of pushes back almost against the laser wall and dodges a quick strike. Hayashida then gets in a stance with his blade in 2 hands above his head. He's crouched and the blade is pointing towards him. That is the end of his turn. Next will be this zombie. It will move. As it moves through the laser wall, you guys notice that it doesn't seem to affect this creature. You don't see burns. You don't see the laser wall move away or around the creature. He just moves through it simply. And it will lift its huge arms where the little tubes are glowing red. Oh, the skin around the tubes, are like red and inflamed, and this steam is coming off of him. And he will use both of his fists to slam down on Little Moss first.
Oh dear.
That will be a 16 versus AC.
Nope.
And then his second attack will swing down against Hayashida, which hit him. Will make it. Yeah, that's going to hit Hayashida. All right. When he slams, you see parts of Hayashida's skin burning, and he sort of calls out in pain. Ah! Now, top of the round, right back up to Turbo. All right. So you see Turbo. He lifts his great sword up in front of him with the flat of the blade pressed against his face. He shoots his beam of his eyes into it, lets go with the blade, it hovers there, and you guys see this sword sort of project this, or like the laser makes this three-dimensional shape, this like sort of odd three-dimensional shape that moves from him out 30 feet until it hits the wall. So from here, it's basically just a jumble of gridded lines of this red and white beam. And I need Hayashida, the zombie, Little Moss, Cortaine, Spigs to all make a dexterity saving throw.
What?
Can't it be Constitution?
Let me check. No.
Can I not roll?
Unfortunately.
Oh, F. So if it's
17 for Moss.
Oh.
17. Okay.
3
11
for Spigs.
Oh, 3.
I rolled a 1.
Oh! Okay.
Then
Let me roll
11 for
Hayashida.
Cortaine.
11 for Cortaine. Okay. Hayashida ducks to the ground as all of these beams sort of move and blast forward in this shape that changes like a three-dimensional mesh or wireframe object, just getting twisted and pushed as it smashes into everybody except Little Moss and Hayashida, and Lokag because he's not in the blast. But the zombie, it hits as well. You all take 24 force damage, and you are pushed. Cortaine, you hit the wall. Spigs, you hit the wall.
Spigs hits
The zombie slides back,
Spigs hits the wall and falls unconscious.
and everyone is knocked prone as well. You are knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay.
I only had like 24
Including
health
Little
to
Moss
start.
is prone.
No, Little Moss, you only take 12 damage. Hayashida also takes 12 damage.
I have a move called Evasion. When I subjected to an effect that allows me to make a dexterity saving throw, I only take half damage.
So you take half of the half. So 6 damage.
All right.
I also have a
Spigs.
feat. Talk about Spigs.
Spig slams into the wall. His lead belcher clatters to the floor.
I did as she
He's
said. My weapon down.
He's reaching for it with his red robotic arm, and it falls down, clacking to the hardwood floor. He's unconscious.
Lokag has the feat Sentinel, which has an ability called Cheap Shot, which is if someone attacks, if an enemy within 5 of me attacks someone who's not me, I get to make a cheap shot against them. Ranged attacks, area effects, that still counts, or no?
Oh, the zombie does not hit. Sorry, say that again.
I get a cheap shot against Turbo because he didn't attack me, but he attacked my friends. Sentinel
You
feat.
can definitely. Yep, you
All
can
right.
hit him.
Cheap shot. It's a miss.
You
15.
sure?
15 versus
Yeah,
AC.
it's
Yeah, it's a
a
miss.
Yeah, it's a miss. The turbo. The cyborg is not hit, but Hayashida is. He's taking his damage.
Cortaine is bloodied.
Turbo says,
The edict told me to stay away from you, but you have found me. So this is no longer the edict's problem, it is yours.
and next will be Little Moss.
Okay. I'm very hurt, but I feel incensed by the taunting from Turbo. So I'm going to duck and weave between Hayashida and the zombie.
Are you going to stand
And
up?
I don't need to because I wasn't
that's
knocked
right.
prone. And then just, I don't know what I want to attack in particular. I think I'm just going to flail because at this point I'm just a bit loose.
Angry. Who are you hitting? The cyborg, or are you going to try and move past and hit Turbo?
Move past and hit Turbo.
Okay, so the zombie will get an opportunity and he will miss. So it goes to swing one of its big beefy arms at you, and you just duck and dodge out of the way, spinning around Hayashida out in front of Turbo.
Yep, so I can make 2 attacks.
Yep.
18 versus AC.
That'll miss.
Okay, second attack. 20 versus AC.
20 will miss.
All right, well, that was good fun. Well, thanks.
So, as you swing at him, and you swing again, and he sort of adjusts his position to your moves and predicts where you're going to go, like a red streak. We'll go here, and nobody gets op attacks. Next will be Spigston Denser. Please roll a death saving throw for me.
I rolled a 1. Does that count as 2?
Did you really roll a 1?
Yeah,
are you using digital dice, or are you using real
Did
dice?
you hear it? It was a physical one.
Oh, no, I couldn't hear it.
Was it? Does
All
that
right,
count as
that's
2?
two.
Oh my!
Yeah, that's 2 fails. Someone might need to go and help this old dwarven fella before he evaporates.
Quick, grab the sword.
Oh no!
That's obscure.
That's a deep cut.
Oh, forget it.
Oh man. Okay, so that's 2 fails for Spigs. You guys notice Spigs is bleeding quite a lot from those laser beams that sliced through him and hit him and pushed him into the wall. His goggles are knocked askew, and you see that there's a big cut on his forehead as well. Next will be Edwina. She steps forward close to the laser wall, and she says, "Stop this! Turbo, only kill them if they provoke you further. I see that you've brought Gregor here alive," and that's all she gets to say in that time. She won't attack right now, but you see her charging her gun, and she's holding it ready. Next will be Cortaine.
Seeing his comrade down on the ground, Cortaine rushes to Spigs and will grab one of the stim, because he had 2, he saw before he had 2 stims.
No, I've
Is that
used
right?
them all up.
Use them all up.
Yep.
Because Cortaine...
Someone has an adrenaline stim, I'm pretty sure.
Here's Lokag.
All right, and if you stab it into his heart, like
It
Sean
is-
Connery in The Rock, then he'll be better.
Yeah, that is not
Although-
me. I don't have...
Actually, I think it was used in the subway system when you guys were fighting the Boneheads and then Mecha Bugbear for the last time. It might have been
Oh
used
no,
then.
I've got 1 stim stick.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I will-
Would you highs or lows for favorable results?
Highs.
76. Cool. That there is a large stim stick,
I just
which is
stab it
2d8 plus 2.
2d8 plus 2. Nice. I stab it straight into his chest, into his heart, getting that adrenaline in. 2d8. That is 15.
All right, you stab the stim down into Spigs' chest. You press the button, and it goes, and you hear like tick, 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 like, you know, old computer sounds kicking up. And then you see his goggles flick on, his arm twitches, and he sits up and makes that sound. His eyes are wide open.
Okay. Say...
Hit me one more time.
Cortaine doesn't know what
If
to
they
say.
do that, you might die, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
I need the
Cortaine-
most more health.
Cortaine
Stat.
strikes him with a sword, taking away the 15 damage. Give
Nice.
he also taketh away.
Spigs crawls over and switches clothes with Gregor.
Then Cortaine will use his action surge.
Yep.
And move towards the zombie.
Yeah.
And then he will attack.
All right.
And this, I wanted to use this on Turbo, but then his friend died. Okay, first hit. First attack is a 22 versus AC.
Oh, that'll hit. Yep.
Nice. And that is 10 slashing damage. And then 4 fire damage.
All right.
And then he will use his second attack, which will be a 26 versus AC.
That'll hit.
Then that will do 13 slashing damage and 7 fire damage.
All right. This creature is looking worse for wear. You actually cut off one of its hands as it goes to swing a punch at you, and you slash it with your second strike, and the hand falls onto the ground. You see like bits of cybernetic parts sort of twitching out of the wound. Some of those tubes are spraying this acidic liquid, usually known as acid.
Nice.
But it is not dead yet.
Awesome.
And next we have Lokag.
I'm just gonna walk up to Turbo and say, "Oi, stay away from Gregor," and threaten him, I suppose.
Alright. He responds with, "I don't give a fuck about this dwarf.
Well,
I'm here for you.
my 15 for intimidate wasn't very intimidating.
I don't even know who you are, but I'm here for you now."
That's it. Like I've moved. I've gotten up all up in his grill, and I'm still.
Yep.
Yeah, that's me.
And getting up is half your move speed. You don't use it as a standard. So you still got your standard.
Standard is the intimidate,
Ah, yes.
and the move is just to do something because I listened to the chick and I'm like, don't attack him.
Okay. Cool. Even though you're raging, this cancels your rage then, right?
No, because my the stim that I took ages ago, the Brutix,
Oh, yes.
still makes me take damage every round, so I took 1 damage.
Yes. Okay, cool. All good.
But you're right, if I don't take damage.
If you don't take damage, then
We'll deal
your
with
rage goes away. Cool. And then we have Hayashida. Hayashida turns to Edwina and says, "What happens if we give up? You just shoot us?" And then he will strike this cyborg zombie because it's menacing and it's spraying acid everywhere. That'll hit. Oh. He takes off one of its arms and then one of its legs. It does not look good, this creature. Edwina yells, "Stop!" She fires at him. That hit. Yep, it'll hit him. It's kind of annoying fighting yourself, you know that? So she charges up this huge cannon again, fires it at Hayashida. He not dodges, but it hits him. He slightly moves. The beam passes through him. He doesn't take the additional damage. And she will fire again. Misses. So the second beam she charges and quickly fires off. Her aim is off because Hayashida has moved, ducked lower, and the beam fires against the wall right near Spigs. And that's the end of Hayashida's turn. Edwina's reaction has just gone off. And then we have the zombie. This berserk zombie will slam its hands into Cortaine, or try to do so. That is a 19 versus AC. That is going to miss. And then a 10, which is going to miss. So it's flailing its arm with only an arm. There's no hand attached to it. And it just misses. Yeah, it does stumps you. It fubs you. That is the end of its turn. Back to the top of the round with Turbo. Turbo. is going to move past Lokag, just walking, eyeing you off as he lifts his sword, his great sword, and swings down at Little Moss.
Oh, then I cheap shot him.
All right, cheap shot him.
That's better. 22 to hit.
That hits.
So 4 poison damage and 10 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Slamming him with your hammer, he continues on, taking the bashes in the back, the side of the head, and he will slash Little Moss with his, or attempt to slash Little Moss with this great sword that looks like it's been made out of just these segments of metal that has grown or just suddenly protruded from the pole that projected from his back. That'll be a 19 versus AC.
Meets it, it beats it.
Alright, that is 13 slashing damage.
I'm down. However, my orcish relentless endurance kicks in, and instead of going down to 0 hit points, I go down to 1 hit point instead.
Alright. And he will...
No blood, no foul.
You take a slash across your chest, cutting directly through your new turtleneck that Lokag bought you.
Back
you have
to
a couple
target.
more in the drawer, but it cuts straight through there. You look down and you stumble back, blood on your hand. You think you're going to fall down, but then you do realize that you've got more of those turtlenecks, so you stay up on your feet. He looks at you thinking, that should have done it. And so then he lifts his sword again for a stabbing motion.
Oh.
That is...
I take a long rest.
That's,
No,
a
never
17, that's a 17 versus AC.
I just laugh and step to the side.
You put your hands on your hips, and the sword goes directly between your arm and your ribs as you stand to the side. The blade goes through there, and he says, "Are you mocking me?" And that is the end of his turn. Next is Little Moss.
Oh, yes.
Missed him again twice.
I turn around and speak to the Chicky Boom Boom. I can't remember her name.
Edwina, is the other names not on there for you?
They're not, and she never introduced herself, so we don't know.
Her name's, as far as I'm aware, her name is Laserwall.
Oh, that's strange. Because I've set it to show names.
Oh, that's right. Her name's got Wiener in it. Edwina, why do you keep holding back? Should we talk about this before we take it any further?
Like I said, you didn't kill Gregor. You brought him back alive.
Yeah, so why are we fighting about this?
That's all you get for 6 seconds of chat. You can do something else if you wish.
Trying to think what Moss would do. I guess Turbo did try and stab me, and I was taunting him, so I think I should just keep beating on him.
All right. So, oh hey, why don't you should use your gauntlets. Do you still have your gauntlets that Spigs gave you?
I lost them a few character sheet builds ago. I don't really remember.
I remember that they give you an extra D6 of a power type.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, it turns out I didn't have them on.
Fire. You left them. You left them in your other pants pocket.
They're on charge back at my apartment.
Have you got the healing glove still from last 2 sessions ago?
Oh,
yeah, he does.
Yeah, I do.
That won't hurt.
That's steampunk glove, but you could heal yourself.
Gee, I'd love that. Can I
do that as a
steam?
standard?
Yeah, can I steampunk myself to health?
Yep. You certainly can. That's high or lows for favorable results?
Low.
8. Okay. 18 hit points. As you place the crystalline circular palm section on your chest wound, one of the gems glows really, really bright, then just burns out as you feel this rush of warm energy. And you look down and you see your skin knitting back together, the fibers of your skin knitting back together, but not
And
the
what about
fibers
my
of your
black
turtleneck. No. He smashes
Thanks,
the
Sheriff.
gauntlet. Shit! Shitty device! Smash, smash, smash! Didn't fix my fucking turtleneck. No. Alright. Yes, that is a... To get that out, because you probably weren't wearing it as you punching things because you found that it was quite fragile before. It would be like in your bum bag. It would take a standard action to get out, put it on, heal yourself.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And then I stand there still mocking, like eyeballing and mocking
Turbo. Okay. So next will be Spigston Denser.
So when Spigs was alive, previously to being unconscious, he was interested in this laser wall. Is there any like does Spigs know like is there any way to like destabilize it? Like does it emitters on the wall? Anything like he can see?
Roll a mechanical check or a mechanics check.
I've rolled 2 1s so far, so hopefully this is a better roll.
You'll be not rolling for your life this time.
Oh, that's way better. 24.
So this is a laser grid, a defense and security system. You've seen it before. Similar ones in Ultra Die Tower when you guys were breaking in there. You know that they will probably have some sort of identification tag or implant chip or something like that that would allow them free passage through the beam, but not you. If you guys move through it, you'll probably take damage or maybe suffer some sort of effect. You know that there is probably a panel somewhere. Now, you can't see one openly here, but you also have not gone to this area over here. Can you see my arrow? So behind the wall in which the big vats are connected to or housed in, there is like a little section behind there that you haven't seen, you haven't gone over to. So it could be behind there, just basically a screen or an on and off switch, anything like that, basically.
Or if Spigs blows up the walls that the laser wall is attached to.
That's how Cortaine did it.
He did do it.
Well, Spigs is hurting, so he's not going to involve in the fight, but he's going to self-inject with his own concoctions. So he's going to cast Cure Wounds, level 2.
Self-injecting. Yes. With his own concoction.
Yeah.
So what spell are you using?
Cure Wounds.
Cure Wounds.
Level 2.
Ooh.
Because he's already hurting pretty bad.
7,
14 health.
14 health.
And then he will... Look, can we resolve this without more unconsciousness?
Edwina looks at you. She turns to Turbo and she says, "Turbo, stop! We've given you this. Stop!"
I won't. I want my revenge.
That's all that happens in that time. Anything else you want to do, Spigs, or is that it?
He'll recast Shield of Faith as his bonus action on himself.
Okay.
Because that I assume when he gets unconscious, it disabled it.
Edwina, it's her turn. She moves here and she says, "Turbo, I'll give you one chance. If you don't stop, I will put you down. The edict have paid a good amount of money to have us rebuild you. I don't want to cross them, but I'm giving you a direct order now. Stop.
No.
He replies. She will fire her beam cannon at Turbo. She fires once. He looks at her, anticipates that where the beam's going to go. He dodges out of the way. She makes a second shot. This time, she lowers it to the ground towards at his feet. She fires and then brings it up. So it's like this cutting beam cuts the floor and then up towards him. It hits him and he makes a Constitution saving throw and he passes. He is not looking great. She shears off his robotic arm. It falls to the ground with the beam. And that pink energy just burns half of the steel away. And Turbo turns and he says,
You'll pay for that. It will come down on you.
That's the end of Edwina's turn. Next, we have Cortaine.
Yeah. I never thought I would find myself agreeing with Turbo on anything, but it is not time for talking. Cortaine will attack the zombie in front of him.
Yep.
15 versus AC.
It meets it and beats it.
Woo! Yeah. That is 13 slashing damage and then 10 fire damage.
All right, you bring your sword down in a huge strike, cutting from its shoulder to its the opposite armpit, and it just slides in half.
I don't mean to contradict you, my kind DM, but I want this body intact.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do. So
you want it unconscious?
No, I don't care about that. I'm happy to stab my sword straight through its head, as long as I don't split the body apart.
Okay. You just one quick stab through the head, pulling it out. Any brain matter and bits and pieces from inside the skull flies out behind you, slamming into the wall beside Spigs, and it smells like roasted, fetid meat.
Okay, good. That's one part of the plan. I'll yell out, "Hey, Lokag, pick up Turbo."
And is that... Yeah.
I will also use a bonus action to use second wind. So I will heal myself for 1d10 plus 9, which is 17. So that makes me nice and rosy cheeked again. I will then use. I've got one.
Rose.
Pardon?
It's not rosy cheeked. It's bloody cheeked.
I'm not blooded
on
anymore.
your face. Oh, that's true.
How many actions do you have?
I get. Well, no. The second wind is a bonus action, and I only attacked once. Can I just grab this zombie's corpse and hold it upright with my other attack? As part of that action, because I stabbed him in the head.
You can
roll a strength check for me.
You can grapple it as part of your second attack.
Oh, grappling a corpse, that should be pretty easy. Nice. 23 strength check.
Yeah, because you're in your big suit, aren't you?
Yeah.
Cool. You pick it up fairly easily.
And just testing what he's thinking. He will move. He'll just twist around so that he now Cortaine slowly pushes the corpse into the wall of lasers.
All right. The creature passes through without any problem.
Nice. Okay. I don't pass it through and drop it. I just look back at Lokag. Grab Turbo. We need 2.
Sure. Yep.
And is that the end of your turn, sir?
That is the end of my turn.
Okay. So, it is Lokag's turn.
Question, Luke.
Yes.
Before Ben does something stupid, is the laser wall coming from all 4 sides projection, or is it from the roof or from the sides? Because I know what Ben's doing.
You can't see exactly where this beam is being projected from. You don't know if it's coming up from a split in the floorboards, if it's coming from some sort of seamless projector in the roof or the walls. You cannot see. You haven't been able to determine that yet. You're not close enough.
We'll find out soon
to
enough.
inspect
Spigs.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. It is your turn.
All right, so I stow my Warhammer and then I move to pick up Turbo. With advantage on... Oh, I'm needing it. No, I don't. I've got 4 and a 5. Hang on. So my strength checks are really, really bad. Yeah, a 9 to try and pick up.
A 9. Okay, let me see.
Oh.
In the lower 25th percentile?
Oh.
He rolls a 19, so you grip him around his neck, and then with his remaining arm, grabs your grip and like twists it from him.
Well, it's okay. I can have 2 attacks, so I just try again.
Nice.
We're going to play handsies, but this time I get 22.
22?
Yeah, I think it's just straight 22.
Roll again because he got a 22 on his strength
Oh.
Just like so he was better.
check. Yep.
Oh, got an 11 on the second roll, just straight 11.
He got a 17. So you...
We're playing handsies.
Alright, so you grab him by the neck, he twists your arm around, your other hand comes for him, he slaps it away, and then you go to grip him again and he twists your hand.
I just can imagine when he slaps it away, it's kind of like, stop it.
He's like, what are you doing? Alright.
I just want to grab you.
Come here, you! Come here! Alright. Hayashida's turn. He will look at Cortaine, he's like, where are you going with this?
We need a bridge. We need to, like... Hayashida move towards Turbo.
So Hayashida moves towards Turbo. He's like, if it doesn't work, I'm going to try and put him down. He tries to grapple. Just because he likes you.
Part of me hopes he fails and then Little Moss does it. So there's just like three big bulky guys just trying to
Slapping
wrestle
him
Turbo.
He fails. Ah! His second attack, as Turbo shoves him back, Hayashida just slashes out at Turbo, cutting up the side of his neck and face, slashing into the steel. This little beam of energy shoots off into the roof, and Turbo does not look good. But that is the end of Hayashida's turn. Next. Top of the round, Turbo. He's just going to go out and strike Hayashida with his greatsword because he was the last person to attack him.
Cheap shot. Failed. 15.
15, yeah, that'll miss him.
Couldn't have tried to grapple him?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
Should relabel it ineffective shot.
So as he strikes Hayashida, cutting through his thin street samurai armor, you see this blast of that red energy leaving the sword, slamming into Hayashida. He's bleeding from his sort of ribs area. He pushes him back. He slides, falls to his knees. He's sort of down on one knee. And he says to Cortaine, "No more messing around. Finish him. Cortaine, it's not the time to play." And there's quite a lot of blood coming out of Hayashida. Turbo then turns to Lokag and attacks you with his greatsword. This second strike, 19 versus AC.
I lift up my shield and it blocks the blow completely.
Nice.
All right. And that is the end of his turn. Next, we have Little Moss.
Okay. I am going to punch him in the face again. Kapow. Did it work?
What did you get to hit?
21 to hit.
If it meets it, it beats it. 21.
Okay. Then... Okay, 9 plus 12 is 21. 21 damage.
Okay. So what does it look like when you defeat Turbo?
You know his
and do you knock him unconscious or do you kill him?
Ooh. At this point, I think I'm probably going to kill him.
All right. Tell us what happens.
I, like, slow motion, my fist is, like, moving through the air as it connects with the, is it orange Cyclops glass?
Red.
For his face? Red? Okay, red Cyclops glass for his face. It smashes through and then I do like a 2-finger monk move and like flick my 2 fingers into his brain stem and make his liquefy his brain or something. Yeah, that'll do.
So you punch through his glass. He stumbles back, grabbing either side of his head, screaming in pain. You then, with the devil horns rock symbol.
Yes.
You do that, bam, right into his eye sockets. Well, what used to be eye sockets, and then you tear the front of his faceplate off. So you grab down into where his sinus would be and just tear it out, and he falls to his knees, and blood just pours from the hole in his face. His cowboy hat rolls, lands at your feet. It's pure white, water resistant cowboy hat, pointed front.
There's no more charges for this Turbo. And then I spit on his corpse.
Turbo is dead. Edwina standing there with this large cannon, and she says, "Okay, now he's done. We can talk." And that's where we'll leave this episode.
Oh, damn!
Oh boy. All right. Thank you for downloading the show. Thank you for listening to it as well, because that's really cool. If you've gotten to this point, you've actually listened to it, which is sweet. Thank you for sharing the show with a friend. Thank you for stacking up a bunch of wooden bricks in a tall building-like structure and then removing them one by one until somebody, usually a fool, makes it topple to the ground.
Yeah, thanks for knocking those things over. That's a horrible thing to do. But what's not a horrible thing? Checking out our website, www.beyondthedice.com. That's a really cool, fun, and helpful thing to do for you, because you get to listen to us and our sweet, amazing stories, and you get to check out some extra information, some sources, and help us out. That's our website has links to all our other places: Discord, Insta, Facebook, and YouTube. And it's also got a link to our store, which is a really handy place to clothe yourself.
Also, like he said, sauces, we don't have any mustard, like Dijon mustard sauce. We don't have that. We have plum sauce. We have
It's more of a condiment, really.
spicy barbecue sauce.
I'm offering up some homemade tomato sauce.
For those who are fans of Turbo, you should pay your condolences at our Instagram page at Beyond the Dice. There won't be any pictures of him, but you can still go there and check out all our other stuff. Other pictures of games we play, D&D pictures, RPGs, whatever we do. But check it out at Beyond the Dice.
And if you wondered where Dr. Lazarus went when he turned off his hologram, he went to go check out Facebook. No, you can too. So you should check out our Facebook page at Beyond the Dice, where you can get lots of news, especially when our new episodes drop.
Reviews? You should give us one if you like it. And if you don't, you should email us directly so we can chat about how we can improve ourselves. And also we have a store at store.beyondthedice.com where you can get clothed and buy red eye cyborgs.
Yeah, listen, stop being naked all the time. Like, it's okay to be naked sometimes, but not all the time. So,
not when you have to leave the house.
Yeah, if you have to leave the house for some reason, put on a Beyond the Dice t-shirt or another D&D related t-shirt or, whatever. If you can't afford to buy a t-shirt or a mask or a mug or a tote bag or a t-shirt or a jacket, jumper, whatever they might be, that's okay, because you can support the show by telling a friend, giving us a review, or just, being kind to someone and then telling them Beyond the Dice told you to be kind. Yeah. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your week And don't let the cyborg cowboy guys assault you. Bye.
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 Good idea. Bye.